recapping the Saints' first round selection. So in the first round, we went with Bryan Bresee out of Clemson. He's a 6'6", 298-pound defensive interior lineman. My first reaction to this draft pick was someone like Marcus Davenport that we're selecting again. Someone who is constantly trying to stay on the field, dealing with injuries, and I think that's someone that the Saints personally shouldn't have went with. I think we went with someone like Keanu Benton. Joey Porter still on the board. I think he should have been a surefire first round selection. And I think we've dealt with injuries on the defensive line constantly over and over, from Sheldon Rankins to Cam Jordan stays healthy. We have Marcus Davenport. We got to get rid of him. We got to go to the Minnesota Vikings because he couldn't stay healthy. I think this guy at his peak, just like Marcus Davenport, is someone that is an elite defensive lineman. But how often are we going to see that? We're going to see that 3 or 4 times out of the year because that's not enough to justify spending the 29th overall pick. Remember, we didn't even have a first-round pick until we traded Sean Payton away to the Denver Broncos, and we used it on an injury-prone defensive tackle. I think there's better options, but I think we still have a lot of holes to fill in round 2. I think going for someone like another defensive end, or if Joey Porter falls even a little bit into round 2, I think maybe we trade up from, I believe we got pick 40, to trade up and draft him. I think we need a slot corner. We can move Lante Taylor potentially to the slot and have Marshawn and Joey Porter on the outside with the secondary behind him. I think that's an elite defense. And if Bryan Bresee can stay healthy, that is a defense that potentially can carry our offense because we don't know how long Alvin Kamara is going to miss. Jamal Williams is a good running back, but with Derek Carr, we don't know what our ceiling is on the offensive side of the ball. I think someone like a Jahmyr Gibbs went earlier in the first round. We didn't have a chance to potentially even trade up for him. And overall, I think Bryan Bresee, it's a boom or bust selection, which is what the Saints are known for pretty much exactly. They've drafted Marcus Davenport. We've taken chances on countless other players. Last year we took Peyton Turner out of, I can't even remember what college he was out of, but again, he didn't perform at all last year. Another boom or bust selection. I think we're continuing this trend. He has an elite frame, 6'6", 298, something you can't coach. You can't coach that amazing frame, but if he can stay on the field, it'll be an amazing selection. But first impressions, I would give this with who was still on the board, someone like a Brian Branch as well, I'll give this a B minus, I would say. There was a lot of room for improvement with this draft selection. Even someone like a Keanu Benton staying at the same position. Keanu Benton's someone who doesn't have to worry about the injury history, and I think he's someone to fill up that in run support. Bryan Bresee gives full-out effort every play, but how many plays is that out of the season to be able to do that for us? That's a big question, and we'll definitely see at the end of the draft how we finish these next few rounds. You have a lot of picks still left, and that will overall determine my opinion on this selection. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll see how Bryan Bresee turns out in this upcoming season.